You and I have both had some serious like religious upbringings that have very much shaped the way that we grew up. Very like sheltered, I guess you could say.
I was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled, yeah.
So that's obviously
like homeschooled to be Christian, like homeschooled, like not just like, oh, you're homeschooled because it's like a good education. No, I was homeschooled specifically because like my parents were afraid of like the outer world and like demonic things and like the world being a bad, you know,
and
the
now
world
you're
being bad.
gay.
And I was then too,
you're
bud.
the worst thing that could have happened.
Oh no.
I just wanna have fun. Turn around now.
What's up, bitches? Welcome to the first episode of She Toasted. That is my show. I don't even know if I want to call it a podcast because I feel like that's very manosphere-esque. And this is going to turn into something much more than a podcast. This could potentially be a variety show, an album launch. Who the fuck knows? But either way, I saw a quote like earlier this week that said, being cool is a prison. Do something embarrassing and vulnerable. So here we are, because what's more embarrassing and vulnerable than starting a podcast? I mean, let's be serious. I am so not natural, in my opinion, on camera, just talking like one-on-one to a camera. And I feel like people expect the first episode of any show to be just the person hosting, who's going to give you a recap on their life, and they're going to talk about what the show's about, and they're going to like give you all the tea. But because talking straight to a camera is so unnatural to me, I legitimately, like, I can't do it anymore. If you've seen my tiny mic videos on Instagram, just know that I also cringe when I post those. That is not something I can sing on stage in front of 1 million people, and that's fine. But for some reason, talking to a camera like this, in this format, is very, very weird. If I was still a Christian, I would think that the devil was on my ass about starting this show, because during the planning of the first episode, my room flooded, which is where we are filming all of this. My toddler bites a chunk out of my microphone that cost a bunch of money. Shout out to my friends. One of them's here who gave this to me for my birthday. Everything went wrong. There was a snowstorm in April in Utah, which is normal, but I had a friend flying in, so we were worried about flights. So many things were happening this week where I could have easily just been like, we're not filming anymore. We're not going to do this. Like, I'm putting it off again. I've put it off for 4 years. We're just going to keep putting it off again. I've been talking about starting something like this for a long time. My friends know this. I'm beating a dead horse. If like my friends had $1 for every time that I mentioned starting a show, they could at least buy a beefy layer burrito at Taco Bell. Like, at least.
A beefy 5 layer?
A beefy 5 layer, for sure. Like, all 5 layers. But I need to just, like, bite the bullet and do it. So the flood happened. The chunk of the mic happened. We're still just shooting the show, and we're doing it because 2025 ate me alive. And I think it ate a lot of people alive, and I'm not going to go into politics very heavily in this episode, but if you've seen my tiny videos, you know I'm not shy about where I land politically. However, I will say that I'm way more polarizing in those shorter videos than I am in a long form conversation. So I wanted to bring friends on and other people to just talk about life and talk about these things in a way that's more human to human, because I'm so sick of where the world is going. My personality in real life, it's definitely closer to like a Jack Black situation, but what I feel like I'm giving online is trying to be more of like a, hey, I'm a podcaster, I'm an influencer, and that's not really at all what I want to do or where I want to go. So anyway, I'm trying to get my brain back. I'm trying to do a passion project of some sort. I've got my friends here. We're all on a crew together trying to do something to just bring humans together. And that's what I feel like this is going to do. And this is what this is going to bring. The polarizing algorithms, we're going to talk about that. That is absolutely crazy. But I feel like a lot is going on right now, and something that's very valuable to bring back to the world is real conversation with real people talking about real experiences, not just peering into the void, because that is basically what we've been doing since COVID. I feel like since COVID, we've been very online, we've been very isolated, and then 2025 happened. A lot of things politically charged happened, and there were no human spaces for us to be and reside. And that is why I had to fly in one of my best buds to join the episode, because already just talking in this intro is fucking awkward for me. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest so that we can get this rolling. We have the honor and the privilege of having one of my best buds on the first episode, who flew in all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, which is the butthole of America, right? Or is that reserved for Florida?
I think that's reserved for Florida.
Is it? Because,
Yeah.
I mean, the jury's out. We'll let the comments speak for themselves. Do you guys think that Arizona or Florida is the butthole of America? And the other one would be the armpit, would have to be the armpit. But either way, you flew in from Phoenix, Arizona. This person is a shredder of the gnar on the guitar, a master ripper of the bongski, an incredibly private human who somehow agreed to come on this show, and I'm very grateful for them. Give it up for one of my best buds, Keirst.
Hi, I'm so happy to be here.
My first best bud on the show.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time.
Uh-huh.
We were not sure how this was going to go. We still don't know how this is going to go, to be fair. To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
To be fair.
We still don't know how this is going to go, but I do want to thank you for being my first guest, because I know that that's an intimidating situation.
Of course.
Even for me, who's like used to being kind of on camera, but
Yeah.
like I hate it. We're both used to being on stage. Why don't you tell us how we met?
Yeah.
And like just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah.
But how did we meet, Keirst?
We met because we both were on the same worship team, and you were going to the same church as me at the same time, and I was best friends with the worship pastor, and him and I were really tight. And so we were at worship practice your first night and my like bajillionth or whatever, and we had our practice and you were in the sanctuary watching, and afterwards me and Justin were standing outside shooting the shit, and you
Justin is the worship
Oh yes,
pastor that
Justin
they're
was our
talking
worship
about?
pastor. Sorry about that. We were outside like shooting the shit, and you came out and you were like chit chatting with us, and so we somehow ended up talking about your Mormon story about getting married in the temple. And I think about it now, and if I had been like in your shoes, it could have been either really bad or like you could have been really, really offended, because we mocked you the entire time. You were telling us like the entire process, like what you wore, what they said, the weird handshakes, like everything. And we just mocked you the whole time. Like, we loved accents, and so we made two characters that we used for a long time. Their names were Daryl and Tammy Lynn, and they were like Southern, and we used those two accents to just absolutely take a shit on your
That's
Mormon.
right.
On your Mormon.
No, that's right. I remember I grew up Mormon, and we'll get into that in a little bit. Keirst grew up evangelical Christian, and I had jumped to evangelical Christianity after Mormonism, and I love to sing. I've always been in entertainment and music. So my first attraction was the worship team. I thought that was like really cool. And then I meet you guys, and like the fact that it wasn't just you, but it was the worship pastor who was in charge of all of this. Like, the rehearsal ends, we go outside, everybody's gone, the church is locked up, and now it's just the three of us outside of the building. I completely forgot about this, and you guys are just, you're like, so you grew up Mormon. Oh, okay, so like tell us about that. And I like tell you for some reason my temple story, like my marriage story. And I was just saying it like, yeah, you know, this was kind of weird, but this was like what it was. And you guys just took off with that and just ripped me a new one. And I'm actually really glad that you did that, because it made me feel instantly comfortable with the team.
Good. Yeah.
Like, it made me feel instantly comfortable just with the crew.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I can like joke about my religious trauma with these people who are also religious.
I would like to inform you also, not to like hurt your feelings or anything, but that was 10 years ago.
Oh my.
That was exactly
Don't age me,
that was like
Keirst.
almost exactly 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh. No, that is crazy. No,
Yeah.
so we met on on the worship team at a church. We were shredding on a band together, still in a band together.
Yeah. We're in the middle of writing an album. If you drummers out there, we need one.
We do need a
it's like
drummer.
our like pitfall right now is we've got everything else covered. We just need a drummer. So.
Yeah, we need a drummer. So that's a little PSA. If you're a drummer in the Salt Lake area, holler at us. We're the coolest band you will ever meet. I swear to God. But we bonded through music. We obviously in that phase, we were like in the same faith zone. So bonded through there. Bonded through Schweed because we love the ganja.
Doesn't everybody?
I mean, some people don't. So one of our crew members gets way too paranoid with
true.
that.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, but he's special. We love you, Jeremy.
And then we lived together.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we were roommates for like 6 months, 8 months.
Yeah. We were roommates for a while. That was super fun.
Yep.
We were making content all the time, doing all the things.
Yep.
When you first met me, I had, if I remember correctly, I
You
had
were
fake
blonde,
eyelashes. Right? Yeah, I had fake eyelashes and bleach blonde hair with extensions.
I remember that.
And you had long hair and boobs.
I did. Definitely don't anymore.
And now you don't have either.
Neither.
Congrats.
Thanks. And
Congrats on the
to you.
chop.
I think this works too, by the way.
The dark?
Yeah, the dark looks
Thank
great.
you. Thank you very much. This is way closer to my natural.
Yeah, this is actually my natural color, so shocker.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
As if you needed to know that.
We've been friends for a really long time.
We have, yeah.
Like, I wanted you specifically to come on the show because I was like, you're going to help me be myself. And what's funny is this entire time and this whole 24 hours before we filmed, it's been like, how do we act natural? That's what it's been. It's just been like, how do we act natural?
Yeah.
What do we do? We've got some things we kind of want to talk about, but it's an intro episode. So how do we act natural? And like, I mean, I don't know. I think it's just going to come with time. I think in general, I think like that's always going to come with time.
Yeah.
But I will say like this show in general is about laughing. It's about learning. It's about understanding people and why we believe the way that we believe and why we do what we do. And you and I have both had some serious, like religious upbringings that have very much shaped the way that we grew up. Very like sheltered, I guess you could say.
I was homeschooled.
You were homeschooled.
I was homeschooled, yeah.
So that's obviously
like homeschooled to be Christian, like homeschooled, like not just like, oh, you're homeschooled because it's like a good education. No, I was homeschooled specifically because like my parents were afraid of like the outer world and like demonic things and like the world being a bad, you know,
and
the world being bad. And I was then too,
you're
bud.
the worst thing that could have happened.
Oh no.
Yeah, like it's we both have like that sheltered upbringing and now we've both come out into the world and we've explored the world in a lot of ways, and like in that regard we have something to say. Are we an expert about anything in life? Like, I don't know, indoctrination maybe.
Yeah, definitely that.
Definitely indoctrination. But like this show is there's no niche to it. People aren't niche. I think that we've lost a lot of art in trying to force people into a niche because there's like, we're just pigeonholing people's songwriting. We're pigeonholing their topics of what they talk about on a podcast. We're pigeonholing like who they are as a person. And that's just not, and everybody's like, make it a niche. And I get it because it's a marketing thing, but I get it from that perspective, but like people aren't niche. So I don't want the show to be niche. People constantly are like, what's it going to be about? I'm like, I don't fucking know. I don't know, because we've been flooding the zone with so much shit in this country and in this world for the last year at least, that like there's so much to talk about that it's kind of hard to narrow it down.
Well, and the algorithm in general like favors people who have sort of one sort of track of content, or like sort of has one angle of content. And like if you are someone who's more well-rounded, or has kind of, you want to talk about politics and you want to talk about music and those kinds of things, it's like kind of hard to like crisscross those things and still have the algorithm like pick up your content. And so like that's one of those like challenges that you're kind of trying to overcome, I think, with this, is like like breaking through the algorithm. And kind of being able to like make content that is enjoyable to consume, but also like you're still able to get it out there. So
yeah, it's like making it so that, I mean, the algorithm's going to push it wherever it wants to go. But I did notice, especially around the time that Charlie Kirk died, how polarizing the algorithm was. And I knew about the algorithm, right? Like I knew like what it was doing to us and how it was dividing us, but like I knew the marketing side of that.
Yeah.
But I really truly didn't realize how much it separates our realities in real life.
Yeah.
Until like an event like that happened.
Yeah.
And then I would see what people were posting. I'm like, whoa, okay, it almost gave me a little bit more grace for people because I was like, whoa, we're just literally living in two different realities. Like, how can I hate somebody who's not even getting the same information as me? But with that being said, I am political and I am nowhere in the middle. Okay, fuck Trump, fuck ICE, fuck Netanyahu. Let's get that out of the way. But I do not want to reduce complex issues into 1 minute rage clips anymore. This is a long form conversation. There's nuance, there's context, there's humanity. Look at that, like where we actually like take human beings into consideration. That's what I want this to be about when we talk about politics. I know my little videos are polarizing, and I know I take ownership in being a participant in the polarizing aspect online, but I'm trying not to do that. And I do feel like we've noticed in the last year, especially, how divided we've gone. So something that has brought you and I always back to center when we're super stressed or like when the world is going to shit and people are idiots or we're like dealing with a traumatic event in our life.
Yeah.
Porch night is the thing that we have discovered. I feel like we should tell the people what porch night is.
I think the world needs porch nights. Like I think like the thing that will heal the world is porch night. Like all you need is a night under the stars with your friends. Joking, chatting.
Under the stars. We call this porch night because at my parents' house, they have a really big, I guess it's technically a deck, but I call it a porch. So we're going to call it a porch. It's really big. We have our lawn chairs under the stars and we just rip a bong and look at the moons and just talk about life and really try to, I don't know, just enjoy the things about like the world that are steady, that like are, that don't, I mean, the planets change and all of that, but like it's something that we can always kind of touch on and go back to, like,
they're like grounding because like it's like at the end of the day you always know like you've had a shit day, you can go sit out on the patio and there will be stars. Like you've had a shit day, you've had a shit week, the algorithm's frying your ass, like go outside, hit the bong and enjoy some stars. Last night Jupe was really out and that was nice.
Oh, that was so nice. So to preface, you don't have to be a stoner to have porch night, we just are, but porch night, like just getting outside, getting under the stars is awesome. Last night we were laughing our asses off. Jupiter was out strong. We could see all of Jupe's moons out there. Jupe was popping. I mean, all its little kids of moons.
You know what I just realized? I just realized that Jupiter is the Nick Cannon of the sky.
Oh my God. Oh my God, somebody's got to tell him.
Yeah, someone's got to tell him. I think Jupiter is the Nick Cannon of the sky for sure. He's got like 12 satellite moons and like 10 moons and
Do you think like each moon has a custody agreement or?
Probably, yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, probably.
That would be nice. Porch night has been something though that we've kind of recruited all of our friends into to a certain degree, and it's been like the biggest therapy ever, and it's kind of turned into our new religion.
It kind of is, because like there's nothing like just being able to sit down on the porch and like actually talk to your friends. Like I think that's one thing that being so online and like everything being very internet focused, it's super easy to like not have a third space anymore and to not have those like that vulnerability that you can have with your friends that you can have in real life that doesn't come through on camera, or like doesn't come through on a FaceTime, or like doesn't come through just like on DMing your friends on Instagram or whatever. And like I think porch night is the like much needed thing of learning how to like communicate with your friends again and being able to like shoot the shit and chit chat and hang out and like not
your phones are gone, you're just looking at nature.
We're not fronting, we're not trying to like be specific people or like be funny, like you're just out there chilling with your buds.
And
you know?
we're our weirdest selves too. And there's
Yeah.
something about like being weird. Like
Yeah.
I'm so sick of people being cool.
Yeah.
Who the fuck cares about being cool?
I mean, I was homeschooled for fuck's sake. I've worked hard to try to be cool, and I'm just not. And so, like, just
How
like,
do you work hard
like,
at being cool? Like, what do you actually do?
Well,
Because
you know,
I feel
like,
I worked hard at that too, but like, who
I don't know,
knows?
like studying what people are wearing and trying to like copy the styles, or like seeing like, oh, some people do this way, and like maybe trying to like emulate that. And I'm like, it's just not me. I am gonna slip into an accent randomly, and it is going to be awkward, and you're just gonna deal with it. You know?
Yeah, or if you say something and it is a song lyric,
yes,
in any
I'm
capacity,
gonna sing it back to
I'll
you.
sing it.
Yes,
I'll sing it back to you.
Yeah.
And all of my friends are like that.
Yeah.
All of my good friends are weird.
Yeah.
To a certain degree. And like anytime I meet somebody who's who's our age, like
Yeah.
a millennial.
Oh.
Anytime I meet a millennial, Gen Z, we'll still give you guys a pass. You guys rock. We're going to talk about you later. We love you guys.
We love Gen Z.
We love Gen Z. But millennials, if you guys are like coming into the chat or just a hang sesh and you're like trying to have it all together, I'm instantly uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm a hot mess at all
instantly
times.
Weird.
Yeah.
Like I feel, but I do also feel like millennials are maybe also the weirdest generation. So I feel like we lucked out. We found our people.
Yeah.
We're the only generation, apparently, if you're born in between 92 and 96-ish,
Okay.
the only group that fully experienced an equal upbringing of tech and non-tech.
Oh, interesting. I'm out of that window.
You're out of that window by
I was
like
born
what,
in
a
90.
year?
No, 2 years.
Oh,
I was born
okay.
in 90.
Okay. Well, I think you're
but,
still, like,
but
kinda-
I like remember when like the library, my childhood library had the Dewey Decimal System still. Like I
What is
remember
that?
like opening the
A
drawers.
Dewey Decimal System?
The Dewey. Did you never watch Arthur? Oh,
A Dewey Decimal
the Dewey
System?
Decimal System?
Wait, the
Look at-
Dewey
even
part
off
is
camera-
throwing
even,
me off.
Even off,
I know everybody's giving me
even
shit
off
about
camera,
this.
Jeremy
what
is
is a
over
Dewey?
here.
I did watch Arthur.
You did you not? There was a whole episode on the Dewey Decimal System on Arthur.
All I remember is DW being a pain in the ass.
Okay. The Dewey Decimal System was a way of tracking every book in the library, and there was these drawers of cards, and you would like if you needed a specific book and you knew the title, you would go to that letter and you would open the drawer and you'd find the book, and it would tell you what number book and shelf it's on, basically, and like which section of the bookshelf it's in.
You
And
guys
so
all
you could,
remember
like,
this?
Yes.
That is some
Yes.
booty.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
No, you don't remember the Dewey Decimal System?
And
so-
Arthur was one of my favorite shows. Well, clearly my ADHD
Clearly.
came out as a youngin'.
Well, because I remember when we got computers at the library for the first time. Like, I remember distinctly like going to the library and being like, oh, you know, and
What?
then like the librarian would stand next to it and be like, you guys can search for books now, you know, like, and you would like type in your search. And I remember it blew my mind because we still technically use the Dewey Decimal System in terms of like the way that they like mark the bookshelves and the like books.
But it's now
Dewey
just digitized. Part. It's throwing me off.
It's because it was a
Can it
dude.
be
It was
a
like some
Matt
autistic.
decimal
It was like an
system?
autistic dude in like 17 or 1800s. I'm not joking. Who was like obsessed with categorizing libraries.
Oh my hell.
I don't know his actual name. They
totally
can look it up.
passed me
Dewey
by.
something.
I was more like Arthur Dragon Tales.
Oh,
Did you
classics.
watch Dragon Tales, or were you not allowed to because you were too Christian?
That was the little
They didn't
kids.
believe in dragons.
No, the younger siblings watched that. I'm a little older.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Were dragons of the devil for you?
It depended on the author.
Oh,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the author had to be of the devil in
yeah.
order for it to be vetoed from the house.
Yes. And they had to be like a Christian or Christian adjacent author. So like we couldn't watch Harry Potter and we couldn't read Harry Potter and we couldn't like consume like Jumanji because all of those things were demonic.
How dare
I know. But,
Robin Williams enter your house?
right. But then we add to it, we were allowed to read Chronicles of Narnia, which has a witch in it.
Just because C.S. Lewis
because
wrote?
C.S. Lewis is like this like Christian author. And then we were allowed to read Lord of the Rings. And even though J.R.R. Tolkien wasn't like outwardly expressly a Christian, he was best friends with C.S. Lewis. So like in my parents' book, they're like, oh, a Lord of the Rings, which also has wizards and magic and all of these demonic things. It's suddenly not evil because like I guess Frodo destroys the one true ring.
Right.
I don't
That's
actually know.
like that's
Like-
critical
like-
thinking at its finest,
Yeah.
bro.
So it,
That-
it was like this weird dichotomy where like all my friends would read Harry Potter and I'd be like, well, I'm not allowed to read Harry Potter, but like I could read Narnia. So like
So you rebelling was like going to the bookstore?
me rebelling was going to the movie store and like renting not PG-13 movies. Like
Was this Blockbuster era?
yeah, this was Black. Well, in Arizona Arizona, guys. It was Hollywood Video. So
Wow.
may they rest in peace.
You just aged yourself so
I really
hard.
did. Yeah, I really did. It was actually okay. It was right at the like time when Netflix was really kind of starting to come up, and so my brother and I split paying for this membership at this Hollywood Video, where as long as you could rent 2 movies, and as long as you returned those 2 movies, you could rent more. And I think they expected people to rent like 4 movies a month. Well, my brother and I discovered that after we finished dinner, we could ride our bikes, because the Hollywood Video was like half a mile from our house. We could ride our bikes to the Hollywood Video, check out 2 movies, ride them home, watch both movies, and ride back and get 2 more movies in the same night and watch 2 more movies. So like when I was like 16, my parents kind of started going through like the divorce process, and they like let go of the reins where we were not allowed to watch like PG-13 movies, and we were like not allowed to do any of that. But then right around like 15, 16, like they kind of like let go of the reins, and I'm not joking, my brother and I snaked our way through the whole Hollywood Video. Like we just, because we realized like we were kind of popcorning, we were grabbing movies. We were like, oh, we wanted to see this. Oh, we want to see this. And we realized we're like, no, we're so behind on all this media. Like we were so hungry for like just all the stuff that we felt like we missed out on, that like we worked our way down every aisle and we watched every DVD in the whole Hollywood Video movie. Except for the romance section, we didn't give a fuck. But yeah, we did not care.
Fuck the romance
so like
section.
when you're like, hey, have you seen like When Harry Met Sally? I'm usually like, no. But I'm like, have you seen Event Horizon? And you're like, no. You know.
Oh my gosh, it's so interesting to like, because I grew up Mormon, which was a very dogmatic religion, and I think people maybe who are even Christian think of Mormonism as possibly more strict or more dogmatic than Christianity, but it really totally depends on what sect of it you came from.
Yeah.
Because you grew up in a sect of like Bible Belt that was way more strict than what my parents' version of Mormonism was.
But you could not drink coffee, which I like. My parents let us drink coffee when we were like, as soon as like we were allowed to. It was like 10, 11, 12. Like we were like allowed to, like, obviously we were allowed to have it sooner, but none of us liked it. You know, we want to be like cool adults. But like I had to teach you, when you moved in with me, I had to teach you how to use the coffee maker.
Yeah, I had no idea how to use a coffee maker.
Yeah, because like you had no idea.
Coffee was bad.
Yeah.
Doing anything on Sundays, even if it was like an activity with your family, doing anything on Sundays was breaking the Sabbath. My family would always like have a certain tradition that we would do together. Like we'd go out to Indian food or something like that. But that was really strict for some people. Like a decent amount of Mormons viewed swimming on Sundays as dangerous because the devil was in the water.
The devil goes swimming on Sundays, folks.
Stay away from them pools. Stay away from them pools. But only on Sundays.
Yeah.
And like
the rest of the days though, the water purified itself.
Yeah, yeah, totally. You could get baptized in the water Monday to Saturday.
Right.
But like
was there like a midnight, like 1 a.m. transition period, or was it just straight up like,
I think it was like daylight savings, and like just all of a sudden around like 1 o'clock, like something just Satan has a meeting with God, and
the water's
like,
like
fine,
werewolves.
I'll leave.
Like evolves. It's like
yeah, he's just like God. Satan's just in there like just floating around on a Sunday. He's like, fuck yeah, this is my day to swim. And then like Monday hits, he's like, God damn it.
Yeah, well, better dry off.
Better
the Mormons are coming back.
The Mormons are coming back to swim. So it's like your experience growing up Christian was, I think, more strict than my experience growing up Mormon. And I did grow up Mormon in New York.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
That's a big dynamic. I do want to actually holler at the heathens for a second, because when I first started TikTok, I did a TikTok. We'll just bring this up real quick. I did a TikTok. I launched it a few years ago, 4 years ago. I decided I was just going to put out whatever the hell I was going to do for about a year. And it tended to be like ex-Mormon, ex-Christian content, because that's what came naturally. And that's also what I needed to heal from. I needed to like get this out of my system. I needed to like make fun of the thing that harmed me, because that was healing. So I was like making all these TikToks and whatever. My version of Mormonism and the heathens that we called ourselves the heathens. All like the followers of this TikTok era were the heathens. And we all had like very similar stories, but we all acknowledged that Mormonism was way different outside of Utah and in Utah.
Oh yeah.
And like as a Mormon in New York growing up, I was actually exposed my entire life to Jewish culture.
Oh yeah.
More than anything.
Yeah.
I grew up going to bar and bat mitzvahs every weekend in my 8th grade year of life. I remember all of my friends going to Hebrew school and having to like practice everything they were gonna say for their bar bat mitzvah. It was a massive deal. There was so much money thrown into this. It was culture and religion, but it was like I had a lot of respect for the Jewish culture in general because of how I saw my friends operate and like how much they dedicated to like that at 13 at like such a young age. But like I was super Mormon also at the time. Like I owned Mormonism as my identity in New York, but I'm also so grateful. Like it's like I grew up Mormon, and it's like I have things about that I despise that we'll obviously talk about on a different episode. But there's things about it. I'm grateful that I grew up Mormon outside of Utah, for starters. New York exposed me to Jewish culture specifically, but I was around a lot of Catholics as well. A lot of just other like cultures, religions.
Which I guess is kind of rare. Like if you had grown up more of like so I grew up in Arizona, and the part of Arizona was really, really Mormon. So like it was weird for me because like when I lifeguarded as a teenager, there was a staff of 45, lifeguards on our pool, and there was only 5 of us who were not LDS. So like,
that's
so
another
like,
Mormon
and
Mecca.
the other 5 of us though were evangelical. So like it's like this like weird like
you never have somebody you need somebody in your group that's just gonna be like, here's a totally different perspective. Like I feel like religion,
that'll be me for you.
Hi, thank you. No, it was you actually, because I mean like,
well, I asked you to watch a documentary that you really did not want to watch. So like after everything happened coming out of like the church, and after the church trauma happened, there was kind of this phase where like I really deconstructed, or I like kind of really took apart and really examined like what I believe and like what was important.
And preface, Keirst and I both have religious trauma, if you want to call it that. We both left the same church for different reasons. But Keirst left before I did.
Yes.
And there was like a period of time, was it like a year, 2 years?
Probably like a year and a half.
When we'd hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And Keirst was always trying to like drop a little seed. Just drop a little seed here and there.
Just like, because I was like deep in the research. I was like deep in like, okay, if this thing that I've believed my whole life isn't actually like the reality that I expected it to be, what is reality? Or like, what is my reality going to be? And so I think like, that's like really the power of like learning things. And I think being inside these like insular cells, like being a Mormon where like, you had a little bit more worldview. You had like a little bit more, Jewish flavor and a little bit more like stuff. But I think like you can get really stuck in these bubbles. And then it becomes really hard to like think outside these bubbles. And like for me, the moment I came outside the bubble, it was just like, oh man, there's so much to know. There's so much. It was exactly like the Hollywood video situation all over again, where it's like you come out and it's just like, oh, there's so much I need to consume here. And so
and you were desperate to like regurgitate, like
to like share it and to be like, bro, I found this thing out and you have to hear it. And you were just like, I don't know.
So I went over to Keirst's house one time, and they're just like, do you want to watch Hail Satan? And I was a worship leader at this time. So like not only was I in church, I was like on staff at a church. I was going to 14 hours of church a Sunday. I was at church like 80 hours a week. I was doing my entire life. My Christmas posts on social media it had nothing to do with Christmas. That was too mainstream. It always had to be dedicated to Jesus. It was like, okay, I'm just trying to set the scene for where my mindset was at. Now, I always was friends with people who weren't Christian. Like as I said, I grew up in New York as like a Mormon Christian. Like I've always been exposed to other things, but I really, like when I'm in a faith, I hold it really tight to myself. And like there are aspects about being in a faith that still applied to me, which was, one of them was just fear of the unknown. So I go over to Keirst's house and Keirst is like,
hey,
what?
You want to watch this documentary about Satan? Called Hail Satan?
Called Hail Satan. And I was like, well, no, because I'm going to go to hell.
I think I had to ask you for like, I think I asked you like 4 or 5 weeks in a row. You'd come over and I'd be like, yo. We'd be like trying to figure out what to watch and be like, yo. there's this documentary I want you to watch. And you'd be like, is it Hail Satan? And I'd be like, yes. You'd be like, it's a no from me.
I don't know why I was so scared of this documentary.
I think I can tell you why. Because like Satan, like the concept of Satan is like, he is the deceiver. He is the evil thing in all of your stories. Like
right.
It's like being like, hey, do you want to go watch this like documentary about how good Megatron is? You know, like of course you're like afraid.
Like it was like, we were always told that if you like watch something like that or like have that around, you're inviting that energy and that spirit into your world.
Do you remember I got into yoga for a while. Do you remember my mom? Do you remember what she told me about yoga? She was like, I think I was on the phone was on speakerphone and you heard her, but she was like, Kirsten, you got to be really careful. Like yoga can invite in demonic spirits. Like you got to be really careful about what you're up to. Like you can invite in evil spirits. And I had to just be like, thank you, Mom. I know that you're telling me this because you like really care about me, but also like I'm literally just exercising. Like I'm literally just like stretching deeply. Sorry.
I'm just stretching deeply. No, yeah. The fear,
yeah.
Like within religion, I was always taught like, oh, well, when you have God, like there is no fear. Like you live a fearless life. But when I went out of religion, I realized everybody in it is like scared of things like Halloween and raves and yoga. And speaking of raves, I went to my first
that's
rave.
Right. Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
And this is my second year being a mom. And so if you're going to come into the comments like, are you a mom? You shouldn't be going to raves. Just fuck off, because everybody
Moms can rave too.
Moms can rave too. And I just so happened to experience my first couple raves this year. And like, yes, as a religious person, I grew up thinking that an atmosphere like a rave was the most demonic thing you could enter into, and there's just gonna be like nasty sex going on, and just like people doing drugs off booty holes and like whatever, and then I even say that and I'm like, well, who cares?
Yeah.
Like even say that now and I'm just like, okay. But you know, back in the day, and as a kid, that was like kind of scary. And even as an adult, as somebody who hadn't been to a rave but grew up religious, I was like, what is there to expect here?
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? And then we get there.
Yeah.
And the first thing that happens to me is some gay dude with no shirt and a fanny pack comes up to me and hands me this tiny little dinosaur and just says, "This is for you. I hope you have a really good year." And I was like, is this what this is all about? And as I like went to now like 2 or 3 of them throughout the year, and they ended up being kind of the same experience, I was like, so you're telling me that this entire my whole life I was afraid of going to an environment where there's a shit ton of awesome music and everyone only wants to like overly love each other.
I mean, I remember you called me and you were just like, dude, I had my first rave. I got this little dinosaur. And I remember you being like, I didn't realize that raves were just like so much just like love and dance. like just like, and not like crude love like what you had described, but just like wanting to have a good time and feeling good and just like having a blast.
Yes.
And I think there is a certain amount of like fear in religion about having a good time. Like if you have too much of a good time, you have to be sinning, or like you have to be like,
right,
this has to be wrong. Like you can't enjoy this as much as you enjoyed something, you know?
That even was a thing when we were doing something church related.
Yeah.
If it was a worship project,
yeah.
it's like, we can't enjoy this too much or else we're taking away from God being at the center of it.
Yeah.
And now it's about us.
Yeah.
And honestly, I overthought that so much as a person in leadership and ministry, to the point where like it tortured me. It tortured me all the time. And like, obviously we'll get into the story at some point, but obviously like I wasn't following every single rule, but I was following all the rules that I could to such a rigid degree.
Right. Well, this is why I was like, you need to watch this Hail Satan movie, because like it literally like the whole point. I'll just kind of give you a quick overview.
Yeah, tell them what it is
like,
now, because that's the funny part.
To say like, oh, Hail Satan, I'm sure your whole audience right now is like, you know, they're like buttholes clinched probably, you know?
Right.
But I think the whole Satanist movement is basically saying that like, if a religious organization is going to have like religious superiority, every religion should be allowed. So like, I think they had a court case where in Oklahoma, someone installed a 10 Commandments monument on their like Capitol Hill, and because it's a government building, they were essentially like, if your religion gets to be on Capitol Hill, my religion gets to be on Capitol Hill. And so the Satanists don't actually believe in Satan. They don't actually think Satan is a real concept. They are more focused on religious equality and more focused on like the community that comes with religion. And so like,
right,
in this case, they troll essentially the capital of Oklahoma. They're like, oh, you get your 10 commandments? Well, we want a Baphomet. And Oklahomans lose their minds, right?
Yeah.
And like, it's about this whole fight. And when you really look at it, you don't, it's sure they're using Satan, they're invoking Satan, but they're really invoking you to like think about who has the superiority and who gets to say like, this religion is the right religion or this religion is the true religion.
Right.
Right. And so it's I don't know.
No, it's hilarious.
It's why I wanted you to watch it, is because like those things that you held as like high fears, like I need to do X, Y, and Z in this specific order or this bad thing could happen. Like I think the show does a really good job of just pointing out of just like that fear is based in just nothing.
Yeah.
You know,
which is what was the shocking part for me. I think in general, the overall theme of kind of like coming out of religion, peering over the fence, seeing something I had never seen before. One of the biggest shockers for me was finding out how many things on the, I guess you could maybe call it the left, but I don't even want to call it the left because it's not necessarily political, but anything on the outside of dogmatic religion that was like making fun of religion. Yeah. I thought they were being serious. No. So much of it is satire. It's
satire. Yeah. Like so much of what the Satanists are about is satire. It is, they don't actually believe in Satan. They don't actually believe, but they believe in the goodness of people, and they believe that you can have morals outside of religion.
Which is awesome. Which is such an awesome irony of the entire thing.
So they have 7 tenets, and and it's sort of like, if you read them, it's not this like, thou shalt not kill. It's more about like, what do we do to live peacefully as a society? Like, how do I live next to my neighbors and have different opinions than them, but still be able to live next to them? And like we have more in common than we don't.
Right.
You know? And I think that's one of the things, like going back to kind of that polarizing algorithm bit too, is like, I think we have to remind ourselves that we have more in common than we don't. And like that polarization is not a natural thing.
Right.
Like that polarization is imposed on us by these systems of control, or by these religious systems, or by those sorts of things. And so you end up like on the receiving end of that, being afraid of everything, you know?
Yeah. I think that's very natural to be afraid of the unknown.
Yeah.
And when you do grow up in any sort of indoctrination or like any society where you're told this is the only way, don't look at anything else, I think that can only be negative, because like if you invite everything in and all experiences and all like aspects of life and facts, like what is there to lose from more information? Right. You know, I mean, obviously we know in religion, it's like, it's your whole faith. There's all that's scary. There's a whole like topic around that. But like, I wish so badly people would just be less afraid of peering over the fence.
I think some of that also is rooted in, like, for at least like in the 2 religions that we were a part of, we believe in this afterlife and this eternity. And I think like that is a lot of comfort, and that's like a lot to like, our lifetimes are so tiny and so short. Like, to quote the Bible, we are but vapors, you know, we are but like, you know, we're a blip in the time scale of the universe. Yeah. And so I think like to be religious is to kind of have that, I hate to use the word crutch, because like religious folks are going to be like, it's a you know, whatever. Yeah. But like, it is a crutch. And like, for me, life has meaning because it has an ending. Like, if this is here and now and this is all I'm going to get, I better fucking like actually live the life that is fulfilling and that helps other people, and that like is actually like something that's worth living, and not just this life of like, I need to do all of these things in this specific order in order to live the afterlife that I want. Right. You know, I don't want eternal conscious torture. So I better do X, Y, and Z to make it to heaven. And for you, I know your heaven is different than ours was. And so I know we've talked a lot about how different like the idea of hell and things like that are between Mormonism
right. But
and
we've noticed, especially in American culture and Christian nationalism, like the afterlife and the fear of things around God and what happens when you die is affecting everybody's actions, and now we're seeing it affect people's opinions and actions within politics, and that's where these conversations need to go, because there needs to be some space to talk about like the correlation between religious indoctrination and what's happening in our political climate today. And I think that in this format it's a little bit easier because we aren't as polarizing in real life as we are maybe in like a clickbait format. You've been through so much. I've been through so much. All of our friends have worked through things pertaining to politics, religion, queerness, self-identity, anything like that. Like we've like marriage, relationship issues, like we've all dealt with certain things in a way that's so nuanced. And like that is where I feel like we need to go back to is like remembering that people are nuanced, remembering that people are not the clickbait content that they put out there. People are so much deeper than what we've become. And because of like, I love certain parts of AI and all that stuff, but like because of the way of the world and technology, we are losing our ability to connect and we're losing our ability to like just be humans and like just fuck around and remember to have fun. And I like, if you are somebody who's on the left side of the political spectrum, I will say I'm acknowledging to you that the last year has been brutal. It's for many, I know it's been debilitating, like to the point where you're like, how can we even go to work when our own president is threatening to get rid of an entire civilization overnight? Those things aren't supposed to be normal. And those aren't supposed to be things we just like wake up and see on the news and are just like, okay, I'm going to go to my job now. Like these are very abnormal things that have happened in 2025 and 2026. And I'm not going to ever shy away from calling those things out. I didn't want to focus on a specific thing in this episode specifically, but I do want to acknowledge to the ex-Mormons in the chat, the ex-evangelicals, people who do consider themselves on the left side of the political spectrum, the queer community in general, the Black community in general. I have 3 Haitian siblings. The Black community and racism and all those topics are very important to me. I think they matter. I think they should be constantly talked about in a way that is handled with care. But I feel like this is the whole point of this show, is to restart conversation, talk about these exact things, talk about why people are acting the way that they are. And I think people are a little unhinged right now on both sides. Like I think people are really losing their minds on both sides. And we need to like find some central that's not neutral, that's not like, hi, I'm going to try to like see both sides for what it is. Like, no, like if you're against people like marrying who they want to marry, just fuck you. Like I don't have time to really like go all the way to that side. But like,
you don't want my actual real political opinions because I feel like the billionaire class should not exist.
Oh yeah, I mean it's a
and
class
so like
war.
but also it's a class war, and so like to like try to skirt around the topic is really hard, because at the end of the day, like some of the stuff we can't actually even really say because the algorithm will cut us down, or like like, so there's like a lot of stuff that I'm like, I want to be able to say this thing but I can't. And I think part of the reason that you're having me on this podcast is I think when you were coming out of the church, I was able to create a good environment of like having like having hard conversations that felt scary to you, but in a way that was like safe, where it's not like, I'm not asking you to be a Satanist. I'm not asking you to even agree with the Satanists. Like I was simply just saying like, hey, there is this perspective out there that is different, and it's an interesting way of kind of shifting your point of view. And I think like getting yourself out of that box is really hard. And with the polarization that we're seeing right now, it's like really, really hard to have a nuanced conversation without someone just blowing up and shutting down. And I think one of the things that I'm at least good at is like having some of those more natural, nuanced conversations in a very like comfortable and natural way.
Yeah.
And making you feel like you're heard and you're safe.
Yeah, I think all of our friends are.
So I think that there's like this like natural way that you can have conversations. And like, now if you are going to come to a conversation and be unwilling to even like I get needing to have conversations, but if you are unwilling to even approach a topic, then you're not ready to have conversations yet, you know? And I think like there is a certain amount of like, if you're going to just be a stone and only keep your point of view, there's no point in talking.
Right.
And it's not that I'm trying to convince you of a new point of view. I'm just simply saying like, hey, there's more out there. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't have to believe any of it, but like at least hear something about something else.
Right.
You know, it's like if you grew up in a house and you had just like one window and you could see the outside world. Like you could see that there's trees and there's grass and there's birds and maybe you even see cars driving by your house or whatever.
Right.
But you never actually like experience that. All your worldview is just like your house. And then let's say you go outside one day and now all of a sudden those trees aren't just like through a window. Like now you're seeing, you can stand under the tree and look up. You might not have realized that there were treetops, you know, like going outside and like experience something. And so I would say like conquering some of those fears and like being able to have these conversations in a safe way, I think is I think probably part of the heart of what your podcast really is.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully that comes across. Knowing that the shorter content has been so polarizing, I do feel like at the end of the day, my good friends and I know, we all know, like we have these deep conversations all the time. We talk about the political stuff and the social stuff always to a degree that's way deeper than what we would like naturally put out online because like sometimes I'm just fucking over it and I'm just like, I don't want to have to come up with something perfectly mature to say. I just want to be like a heathen today and I just want to say how I feel with no filter, and this year has been really hard to have a filter. But you're right, the heart of the whole show is just to have conversations where we can bring that back. And I don't know where the world is gonna go, and I think like that's a real thing to acknowledge right now. I don't know where the world is gonna go. I think this will be a good tester though for free speech. If this show continues, you bet your ass I'll be talking shit about Trump the entire time. So if this show continues to exist, then I guess free speech is still intact. To a certain degree. But we'll see. I mean, who knows?
Well, to kind of go back a little bit, I think that's part of the reason why like I didn't necessarily want to talk a whole ton about like being non-binary or like queerness and things like that, because I want your audience to be able to kind of approach these topics without feeling like we're like slapping them in the face with it. You know, like I want to be able to like just actually have a real conversation that isn't, you know, scary.
That isn't.
I'm like, hey, I am a real human who's actually really nice and like I will talk to you.
Wait, you're not just like
I'm not an AI
robotic liberal?
No.
Oh my God.
I've also never had blue hair, so.
You've never had blue hair?
Never had blue hair.
Oh my God. What? You're not even a liberal.
I'm not even a liberal.
Come on. Can't get initiated without blue hair.
Nope. Not a blue-haired liberal here. Sorry.
No. I mean, I feel like I haven't gone blue hair route, but I feel like this year might be my make out with a girl.
Yes.
Year.
We've been talking about that. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, we'll see. This year's going to be a few different things. Obviously, the show has started. So welcome to the journey. It's going to be a rough, bumpy journey, but it's going to be a journey. It's going to be real. That's the thing. It's going to be real. It's not going to be something that's like totally coiffed and put together.
Whoa. Don't talk about my coif.
Your hair is always perfect, okay? But I just like, I went through all of 2012. I went through all of 2025. I went through all of 2025 with no laughter, like no hope, no pure joy. And I'm freaking sick of it because I can't control half the shit that's going on in the world. I can control what I do locally, and we're going to do that. We're going to mobilize when it comes to local. I do think that's important. I think it's important to pay attention to what's going on now, especially with ICE, and do something.
Yes.
Check in on your neighbors. Protect your neighbors. Check in on your friends. I think it is important to be aware of what's going on. And if people think that you're ridiculous for thinking that. I'm just gonna say they're not paying attention to what's going on. It's that's gaslighting, and I'm just not here for that. It's very obvious what's going on right now. There's a lot of things that aren't good. But because of that, I want to try to combat it by talking about the things that aren't good and bringing in some space to laugh. And bringing in some space for people to just like not have to have it all together. Yeah. If I would have taken advice before I started this show, the show wouldn't have started, because the advice would have probably been, wait until you have your life perfectly together and until your brain's healed from the trauma that you've gone through before you expose yourself on the internet and just start flipping and yapping about whatever. But instead, I'm just kind of like, you know what? We're going to start and we're going to grow together. Yeah. So this is a toast. Yeah. As we close out She Toasted, episode 1. This is a toast to growth. Yeah. To questioning everything, no matter what, to always trying to expand our perspective, to laughing our asses off constantly, to the point of peeing our pants. And Keirst, congrats to entering into a whole new phase of your life.
Thank you.
To dating. And I can't wait to hear all the stories of that.
Yes. I'm happy to be in town because some of them I'm a little embarrassed to like share over FaceTime, where I'm like, this girl asked me to do this thing and I'm a little worried about it.
Yeah. This was just like, if you're tuning into this whole episode, first of all, we love you. Thanks for tuning into the whole episode. This was just kind of like our experiment-sode. Our next one will be a little more niche, a little more tight-knit, even though I hate a niche. It'll be a little more topic central. Yeah. But like, I'm really excited for where this is going to go. Write in if you feel like you have a topic that you would want us to talk about, that you kind of know where we're going with this. Like, if there's something that you're struggling with that you feel like we might be able to provide some sounding board for, write it in. Write it in
if you have questions like about your queer friends or queer people in general. Like, if you're afraid of the gays, please come talk to me. If you're afraid of the gays, come talk to me. But also don't at me, because I'm really bad at social media and I'm really private. So
yeah, if you're afraid of the gays, holler at us.
Yeah, if you're afraid of the gays, come talk to us, because I think that there's a lot there that like that's very easy to like see through once you actually like talk to a real person.
Which goes for anything. And I'm very excited to see where we go with all these topics and like where we dive into. And I'm excited for the laughs. I'm excited for the music. I'm excited for the personality to pop, and for all the other guests who are going to come on. And thank you for being my first guest.
So happy to be here. Thank you.
On the first show ever. So toast to you and your hoe phase.
Thank you.
And me and what I guess is my new hoe phase too. So we'll see what happens here. But thank you to Aranza and Jeremy, who are my best friends who are behind the camera right now, and our whole little crew. And TJ, shout out to you for being a big support and donating some of your equipment. And thank you to the heathens who I'm sure are tuning in. You guys have been the OGs since the beginning, since 4 years ago, since I tapped out of social media and didn't want to do anything anymore. But everybody needs a good passion project. I think that's healthy. So thanks to anybody joining in. Should we go take a rip?
I think we do.
I think we need to go take a rip.
Yeah, I think I need to like relax.
Should we go shred the bongs?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Bye, everybody.
See you guys.
I just wanna have fun. Turn around now. I just want
the PAX, can I just say, slaps more than like most things. Yeah. For me, and a good bongski. But like the PAX rips.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it does. It definitely does.
It just could send me from like, I'm just like, it's nighttime in my soul, and then it's daytime in my heart.
It rips my throat up though.
Does it?
Like, I woke up. Okay. Yeah. Okay. We had our porch time last night and we ripped that thing for 2 hours, an hour.
Yeah.
An hour and a half. I woke up this morning and I was like, oh fuck, we are shooting this episode. And I was like, hey, I sound so good. I'm here for the episode. I flew in all the way from Arizona.
Oh my gosh. You know, sometimes if I wanted a specific raspy voice while recording a vocal, I'd rip a bongski right before recording or the night before, and then I'd just be like instantly Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, it's like the 80s where they're like in the recording booth with a cigarette, like singing, just like yeah.
Yes, well, I still just sing. And they all like, yeah, why did they all sing like that?
Yeah, it was like the rasp of the like 70s. Was it Janis Joplin who started it? I'm not good with like I'm not good with secular music because we weren't allowed to listen to secular music.
Oh my
so
gosh.
I've had to like learn a lot, but there's still a lot of like stuff that is just total blanks to me. But I'm pretty sure that was Janis Joplin. So.
I mean, I'm just picturing somebody with like Golden Girls hair with a really long cigarette, like with something
like
that
ABBA?
Cruella DeVille would have.
Yeah.
And they're just like kicking their legs and they're singing and singing and everything's slow-mo.
All I'm picturing is cabaret at this point.
What era is this?
I don't know.
Where did we just go? You know where I wish we could go? The MGK concert.
Which we will be in 2 months.
If you're an MGK hater, fuck you, If you hate, if we just bleep that entire time, that'd be funny.
Wait. I will say, I was an MGK hater. I was, because I don't like much of his early work. I do not.
Well, it's totally different from his work now.
I don't like
and
his early work.
I honestly haven't really listened to his old stuff.
But as a Blink-182 fan, and as like a pop punk kind of love, like I love like that kind of, and like kind of being an alt fan, his new stuff, his last 2 albums have been like, so yeah. And
Outlaw Overture is that what the album was called? I know that's the first song.
Yeah.
That was my number one on Spotify for album, for song, for top 5 song, for top 10.
Yep.
It was at the tippity top for everything. Yeah. Colton Baker, is that his real name? Colton? Machine Gun Kelly.
Oh yeah, I don't know his real name. I'm not that big of a fan. See, I was a hater, so I like made sure not to know anything. Where I was like, "Ooh, fuck you." But then his new stuff, amazing.
Yeah, his last 2 to 3 albums.
What's the last song on the album? Is it called Ophelia? Or is it?
That is on Orpheus.
Orpheus.
Yeah.
Orpheus.
Colson Baker. Baker. MGK, I love you. Yeah. Okay? Yeah. Thank you for bringing your last album into my life because it was the only good thing of my entire 2025.
Yeah. Orpheus was, I think, my number 1 song last year. I listened to it apparently like over 400 times. Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vampire Diaries or whatever that one was. Oh, take me out. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it. We need to tell them about the last concert. That was a spiritual experience, MGK. We went to your last concert. You said
we're speaking directly to him now?
I am going to. I feel like he deserves it. Okay, wait.
Hi.
I should sit up.
Big fan.
Okay, big fan. We went to your last concert in Salt Lake City at the USANA Amphitheater, and you specifically said from the stage that it was the dankest concert you had been to, and I take pride in that.
And I will say this. The part of town that the concert was in was extraordinarily Mormon, and that dank cloud hung over that. I'm pretty sure there were people in that neighborhood who were like having an amazing night, and they had no idea why. Like they were just like, man, I am so happy.
Let's just say all the kids on their parents' shoulders were also very happy that night. They went to bed very well once they got home. They fell asleep in the car.
I'm just saying, all the nice Mormons who have said to themselves, yeah, I've never smoked weed in my life, accidentally got secondhand
Absolutely.
destroyed.
Absolutely. And Colson,
anyway.
May I call you Colson? We will be at your concert this summer at the same amphitheater. So if you just so happen to see this before your concert and want to bring us on or backstage or on.
You are dreaming so big here, my friend.
Or on. Hey, he believes in manifestation.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm just putting it out there. If, Rachel, Keirst, Taylor, Ashley, that is who will be going. If you want to bring us on stage, I will not be mad about it. I will duet any song with you. Can I just throw that out there?
And just tell me what song to learn and I can shred it.
Keirst can shred anything on the guitar, even though we also have a major crush on your guitarist. Remember?
His touring guitarist? Yeah,
yes.
What was her name?
Sophia or Sophie?
Sophie something?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember her name.
But we have a crush on your guitarist.
What was her name? We now have a fact checker because I spew lots of data and I would say it's about right 80% of the time. Maybe 85% of the time. Or I'm close. Close enough to win a trivia match.
True.
Yeah. It's so pretentious. I'm so sorry.
I'm pretty sure it's...
Listen, I had to learn my... Sophie
Sophie.
Lloyd. Okay. I had to learn my social skills much later in life than most people because you all had school.
Yes, you had school with your siblings, unfortunately. JK, I love your siblings.
I love your siblings.
They're pretty tight.
They are. I can't believe they're so old.
I know, it's so weird. My youngest sibling is 21 now. We're all legal.
The last time I hung out like at your parents' house was for, I think, your sister's high school graduation.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Oh, but we need to tell people the trick for going to the MGK concert.
Oh. Which is?
That you must put dirt on your pizza.
Yes. In order to have the premium experience, you have to eat dirt on pizza. And if you don't know what dirt is, it's...
Should we let them just figure it out?
Sure. It's drugs.
That we are legally capable of consuming.
I have my medical card, thank you.
Same. So don't come for us.
Yeah. Aranza, this is mostly just shit. So we're going to throw all of this out, right?
No, I think this is amazing.
No, this is all golden.
No, I think you're going to kiss your first... Well, you've kissed girls before, but I think you're going to like kiss your first girl like with the intention of doing more than just kissing her. That's my prediction for 2026 for you, my dude.
Is it?
Yeah.
How many of us are predicting this for me?
A lot. All of us. Every one of us that knows you is like, Rachel is going to finally come out.
What, out of curiosity, gives Les about me?
I would say, I think it's because you are like very against like femininity, but you also are still very feminine. And it's that there's a very specific like lesbian vibe that is like pushing off of like that I don't know what the right word is, like that patriarchal like mantle, basically. Like you have to please men. So like in order to have like sexual intercourse with men, you have to like please them. So you have to like do the things that make them like turned on. And for lesbians, it's a totally different set of things. And
right, and I'm very against the idea.
You're very against like doing that for men. And so like you instead give the opposite vibe of like
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, I think you are going to kiss your first girl this year, and I'm hoping it's tonight, but that's me. We're going out tonight.
We are going out tonight.
Yeah.
We are going out on the town, and I mean, I definitely have, I would say, my first girl crush.
I'm so excited for you.
Currently.
It's been such a long time coming. I can't wait.
I don't know why this is something that all my friends have been predicting, but
me and T have talked about it so many times. We're like, someday there's gonna be a girl that's gonna come into like Rachel's life and just rock her world. And she's gonna like swear off men forever.
That would be another plot twist, and honestly, par for the course for my life. I feel like it's just constantly ricocheting like opposites. But I do have my first girl crush, and I also unfortunately still love men.
It's not really men that you love though.
Yeah, well, let's just say I'm going to be learning a lot of new tricks this year.
T and I can teach you. We have lots of tricks.
I know. I'm very proud of it.
Yeah.
I'm very happy about this. I have a very eclectic group of friends.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for your assistance.
Yeah.
Well, shall we reconvene with our day and get ready to go out on the town in
Yeah, we gotta go
Salt
party.
Lake City?
I know there's so much to do at night here.
There is so much to do. Nobody move here. We don't want rent to get any higher.
This was fun, bud. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I
dude.
fucking love hanging out, and I love that I got a chance to fly into town because, like, I miss hanging out with you guys.
I know. It's great to
And,
have an excuse to have you fly into town,
yeah.
have some best buds time,
Have some porch time.
have some porch
Yeah,
time, have
yeah.
some chilly willy jupe time because Jupe and his moons are out. And we love a good Jupe moon time. And now we're going to go out on the town,
Yeah, yeah.
hang out with some friends, have some drinks.
I hope I make out with a rando girl tonight.
I do too.
Yeah,
Multiple, actually.
Yes.
Because you're looking fly.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm in my hoe phase. So.
I'm in my hoe face.
Let's-
Hold my hands.
Ow.
Oh, no.
Oh, I'm so uncool.
Vulnerable
face.
and embarrassing.
Hoe
That's what
face.
we're going for.
Ow, that
Well,
actually
thanks.
really hurt.
Yeah, shit, fuck.
Clip the crap out of it.
Shit, fucking Christ, bud.
Oh,
fucking
Jesus,
Joe,
bud.
why you just fucking beating yourself to death on the fucking microphone?
It's because it's so low.
Oh my God, you can't even control your arms these days. It's fucking embarrassing. I can't even take you places. This is why we can't go anywhere public.
I got a big head and little arms.
I got a big head and little arms.
Yeah. Got
Well,
them back
anyways,
close. Anyway, sorry. We
on
keep
that
trying
note,
to end this.
We keep trying to
Yeah.
end this, but I guess this is how, like, I don't know. This might be how every fucking episode ends because, like, who's following a script these days?
Yeah.
Thank you for tuning in to the first episode of She Toasted. I'm Rachel, your host. This is Keirst, my best bud, and our first guest. We got Aranza behind the camera, my other best bud, and Jeremy, who left to get a massage.
He's a bougie bitch.
He's a bougie bitch. We'll forgive him. Anyways, tune in next time, whenever that sode may be. No promises on when or where. You'll find out, and we'll see what's to come. Later, bitch.
Later.
I just want I wanna